top of something faster. I was like, fuck it, this place is terrible.
Yeah, who's that for?
I don't know. I went to the Museum of Sex thinking I would see like 100 years of goofy dildos.
Yeah.
Like this place was weird, man.
This
Like,
is, yeah.
like,
Were you meant to sit the other way in the
Yeah.
chair? Like,
I have no idea. No, I mean they had like safety, like a whole safety routine. Like you gotta sit this way and all that.
okay.
And it was like this was like.
Did they make you like sign a contract that you might get fucked in the ass or something like that?
No, I mean I think when you go there you sign some waiver in general, but
To get fucked in the ass.
clearly I didn't read the fine print. This thing was like in an arcade in the basement.
An arcade?
Yeah. They had like a bounce house made of titties.
It's like some weird Ed Gein shit.
Yeah, it was very
dude, what the
strange.
fuck?
It was very strange.
A titty bounce out? That seems
They had
odd.
one of those, you know, like those strength tester, like romance, those old school games where it's like
What, it's like a giant Kegel exercise that you get inside of?
well, you squeeze.
Oh, it's how hard you can squeeze your dick?
Well, but I mean, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, strength
those things
tester.
where you squeeze it and then it tells you what kind of lover or whatever you are. So it was like this, except like the squeeze thing was inside of a mermaid's pussy.
What? Does a mermaid have, like...
That
I guess I've
mermaid
always...
had one. That mermaid had one.
Yeah, I mean,
Always
thing about
wondered how
mermaids
that
is
works.
you wouldn't actually be able to fuck them because it's a fish bottom.
Yeah.
So, like,
I feel like
this mermaid had.
you'd expect to fuck it, and then it would, like, lay eggs on the ground and be like, all right, now come on, man.
yeah, that's how it
All
works.
I know is you had to reach your hand in the mermaid pussy and squeeze the thing to play the game.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Do people like the stronger the better? You reach in there and just go, yeah.
I don't think women like you.
Yeah, I've never heard
death
of that.
gripping the inside of their pussy.
I think the number of women who want you to put your whole hand in there is pretty limited.
Yeah.
You got to do a lot of stretching to make that happen.
Was this Museum of Sex actually made by anyone who had had sex?
I think it probably.
I don't know.
I think it sounds like it was somebody that
Maybe-
had too much sex.
Maybe
I think it was somebody who was aware of what sex was.
I thought it was supposed to be funny, and I don't know who this museum was made for.
Perverts.
Definitely some kind of
No,
purpose.
from what you described of that ride, it's made for perverts.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's pretty bad, dude. You ready to get pumped out?
I'm glad we opened this game with this. So, like, of all the topics we could possibly have discussed, we're like, yeah, fuck it, Museum of Sex.
I brought it up.
I know.
You guys just wanted to keep going.
I
mean, it is
feel
fascinating.
like I could still be told more about this because it's
Yeah, I mean,
really
I'm open to
weird.
more questions. I just think it's funny the contrast between this horrifying game and this.
Yeah, shit's gonna be fucked up.
I can't remember too much else that was really just kind of too much. But yeah, it's definitely those parts stuck out to me. The arcade is what the museum was pretty boring.
Really? Was it just a lot of like? I mean, was it like almost like textbook like diagrams of like the inside of the body type stuff,
They
or like?
they were like playing like vintage porn on like screens, so you could like walk through and see how porn was.
You could just do that on the internet. I'm pretty sure you could just look up vintage
Yeah.
porn if you want.
Was it? Did they have like the 1920s? Like,
Yeah, they have like the kind of peep show kind of stuff.
Of course they did. So I'm guessing the museum was just not very good, and they put in this weird crap like in order to draw visitors, and that's probably what most people were going there for.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted it to be like a goofy sex toy museum. Like, I wanted to see all the goofy sex toys that made for like
Yeah, I think I like a
see one of
dildo
those
with
like
beads in it. or-
Paleolithic stone dildos. And like that. No?
中高あんなにも高校娘なのにどうして妹の前は何もかも正反対なんだ
That doesn't sound good.
no, he's definitely beating the shit out of his 15-year-old daughter right now. Like I said, it's pretty much immediately like, yeah, get ready to be bummed out.
ひな子だって分かってくれてますよ
分かってたらどうしてあの態度になるんだこれも全部お前がひな子をずっと甘やかしてきたからだろう
Maybe getting punched in the face isn't spoiled.
ひな子お父さんはねあなたのためを思って友達のとこ行ってくる
He's worried he won't be able to punch you in the face again.
That's yeah, that's not a thing that you need to be like holding on to.
そんなこと
But so tell us more about the sex scene.
I mean, that's really the things I took away from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Otherwise, it was mostly just boring.
Are any spiders in this game?
No, there are not.
That's a lie.
That's what you said about Resident Evil.
I did not say that. But in fact, I told you guys ahead of time, like, yes, there is some spider stuff.
Yeah, but after
And you
that, you
guys
said there
locked
were no
it.
more spiders. Though there
And
were
then there
more
were
spiders.
more.
That did happen.
That happened.
There's a brief little fucking extension of the same moment.
Yeah, every time you see spiders, you get a brief little extension. We know.
Shut fuck off.
Is that how it goes when you say no more spiders?
That
And then there just are more spiders?
does seem to be the pattern.
No spiders, okay.
土砂崩れで通れない
Sage? I heard Sage say spiders are like potato chips.
Get the fuck out of here. How you doing, No Name? Oh, fuck off.
I mean, how can you, of all people, say no more spiders when you have probably created the most spider children of any living creature? Because spiders don't have long lifespans, right? So they can't keep reproducing, but you're still fucking them. And so, you know,
You gotta be racking those numbers.
you gotta have, like, the world record of, like...
What's up,
spider-
afternoon, dude?
What's up?
How's it going? We are in here.
Yeah, good timing afternoon, dude.
It was actually Afternoon Tune that sent this to me when it came out, so I could do a review for it.
Oh, shit. Yes, we are talking about spider.
These two are always goddamn talking about it.
Hey, I didn't bring it up.
Yes, you.
Nobody brought it up.
Oh, well, that's your truth. Okay, fine.
Yeah, you can't blame that one on Alex. Yeah, I guess this stream was made
It's not
possible.
my fault that everybody who watches this stream knows you fuck spiders.
God damn it.
It's true. Everybody does, man. Every regular brings that shit up at least once.
And I blame you two. That is your fault that is the case.
Our fault that you keep fucking spiders.
I
not
do
my
not keep
fault.
fucking
It's
spiders.
not my fault. It's so funny.
Been procrastinating work all day and just writing. Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, I encourage the creative spirit for sure.
I mean, it would be kind of hypocritical for us not to.
Right. That's another sort of little mini review that we got to hear of the book too. The other,
Yeah,
just
Corbin
the other
finished
night.
it up.
Nice. I really like
Possibly my favorite review we've gotten came from him. It was, the book was just the right level of fuck you.
it.
拝んでおこう
It did.
Those mountains seem nice.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, without all the fucked up stuff, it's a pretty.
Wish you guys could stream Quantum Break for the Androids.
Yeah, I
Go back. Go back to revisit it.
私
I
どうしたら
I just played it not that long ago because I went and did like the full 100% achievements
Yeah.
on the Xbox. So I don't know if I mean personally it's my least favorite of the Remedy games, even though I still think that there are interesting things in there.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know if I'm totally in the mood to play it again just yet, but
Why don't you do one of those things where you stay up all night for 10 hours and play it?
well, actually, it wouldn't take that long to beat it.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
You could maybe go back in time. Before you played it most recently.
Yeah, you can play it.
Not play.
Yeah. If you went back in time now and killed yourself in the past, then you wouldn't have played it, which means you could play it now.
釣られている
Yeah.
People would still say you fuck spiders.
Oh, but really, if Sage had access to time travel, he'd go back in time and murder all of his spider children in the egg, so he wouldn't have to pay child support.
We'd probably go back even further to when the spiders were bigger.
Anyways, me and No Name are planning to do, a series of every Remedy game. So we will eventually do videos for Quantum Break. I just don't think it's going to be soon necessarily.
It'll probably be the one.
Well, we already
videos.
played
So
it.
spiders eat their young. Sage, do you eat your spiders? You eat your
I-
spider young? That'd be fucked up, man.
I don't have any spider young.
Because you hate them?
No. God damn it.
Does anyone know why they do
Sage doesn't eat spiders.
毛がないな
He eats spiders.
that? He eats them out, yeah.
Fuck off. God damn it. I knew that was some one of you was gonna fucking say that.
What does spider pussy taste like?
I don't know. I don't goddamn know.
Ulysses,
Please
you're
tell
not
me you use a
being-
dental dam.
You're not being specific enough. How's the epiginum juice?
And we just started. Already all on the shit.
I can't help it when the chat makes it so important. sometimes.
People are demanding spider questions, Sage. They are literally asking for it in the chat.
The name of this
Not as much as
town.
the spiders.
The name of this town also does sort of, not exactly, but it sort of loosely translates to something like Silent Hill.
Okay.
I forget exactly.
Ibikusuka.
I'm pretty sure it's not how you pronounce that.
Not quite.
That doesn't sound Japanese at all.
Good try for an American though.
But to answer your question, Afternoon Tune, I'm pretty sure that spiders do that for a variety of reasons. I mean, they're highly territorial, so it's a way to like drive their young out to seek their own new territories. It's also partially like a defensive thing, like if there are like predators nearby and there aren't a lot of resources for the spider, they have an instinct to just go, "Ah, fuck it, I'll eat my young before something else does."
Ulysses, what's the number one predator of spiders?
You shut the fuck up. Damn it. Son of a bitch.
I don't think Sage is a predator of spiders. I think the spiders come to him willingly. I think they line up outside, and they're all waiting their turn.
You have to give out numbers like the DMV.
No. No, I don't.
First come, first serve.
No matter what I say, man. It doesn't matter what I say. You will fucking find a way to.
I really do like this
先に抜け道があったはず
Yeah, no, the like aesthetic of the game is super unique, obviously for this franchise. They do a really good job at like making it. It feels like a Silent Hill game, and yet it doesn't really feel like any of the other. You know, like they did a good job of like new yet familiar. And then that next one is takes place in like a Scotland like dock town.
Ever tell you guys about the ramen museum in Japan?
There's a ramen museum.
Was there like a weird orgy
was-
at that one?
It's like a facial there.
It wasn't a museum at all.
Okay.
Like
a
there were a
restaurant?
couple like signs. In
Is it a
the
restaurant that
shop.
called itself a museum?
It was actually like a huge building.
Okay.
And the inside was just like floor to ceiling, like high ceilings and stuff like that. And the whole thing was themed like 1950s Japan. Like it was like being in,
That actually sounds cool.
being in like a neighborhood. And they had like 8 ramen restaurants in there. And that was what they considered to be the museum thing, is they had different
車が
types
道を
of
塞いでてさ
Okay.
Interesting.
千鶴や
But yeah, the aesthetic of it was very cool. Like you walk down the stairs and it's
私も
just
後から
like
行くね
open up big warehouse type space, full of buildings and
Done.
stuff like that.
Interesting.
裏切り者
One of the things I always that you've talked about when you went to Japan that I would love to go see myself is I don't know, you know, those are that specific one is there anymore, but when you talked about sort of how intense the haunted houses were,
yeah, I mean,
that sounded really
I only
fucking
went
cool.
to 2 because I stumbled across one in the mall and one of them was in an arcade. But if I went back, I'd try to specifically go to, because those were
More of
just
those.
random ones I happened to buy. Maybe some of the more famous ones or something like
Yeah.
that. They were very good. Real creepy.
You know, I don't know if it's if this is still around either, but at least for a little while in Seattle, there was a escape room that was the cabin from Evil Dead.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
fun.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm necessarily like an escape room person in general, but I would do that. I would for sure do that one.
Totally.
Escape rooms are fine. They get old after a couple of them.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they're all mostly the same thing, different themes.
I mean, you'd be surprised how different the puzzles are and stuff like that.
I see. Part of me wonders if I might like them though, because of how much I love like the Resident Evil games. And that's kind of what they are in a lot of ways.
For me, it really depends on. I've been to a few of them. It really depends on if you're going with a group of your friends.
Sure.
Or if there's like a couple of you and they group you in with like two groups of strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds boring as shit.
Sage, do the spiders come here for your escape room?
I don't have an escape room.
It's called your bedroom.
Fuck off.
Sage never lets any spiders escape.
Oh, shit.
Not like you have to worry about it, Alex. They're all the gnomes are so little, they could never hope to get away.
What? I don't understand
Is that crazy what I said?
Wouldn't it be easier for them to get away if they're small? Because then they could hide.
That's kind of what.
Oh, he's too big. It's a size thing.
Okay.
How could they possibly? It's like people running away from Godzilla. You ain't getting away. Whatever.
Fucking gnome.
Are you ready for the gnome show?
I am absolutely not watching.
Yes, you are.
I am not watching.
It's happening.
Yeah, you are.
People are excited for it. It's like one of the most anticipated shows of the year.
Yeah, dude.
I don't care.
It's huge.
I know it's going to be popular.
It's going to be so popular.
For whatever reason.
People that don't even know you will be coming up to you and be like, "Hey, have you seen the new Gnome show?" Like,
You're going to get asked by people. Your dad is going to ask you, like, "Did you watch the show?" And he's going to start talking to you about it. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
They are. We're cresting another gnome popularity wave.
I feel like it's the same wave that's just been getting higher.
I think it just gets a little bigger every year. I mean, again, last year we had that moment where, like, an entire, like, cultural discourse revolved around how big AI versus a real artist could make the size of a gnome's ass.
True, that happened.
That was
planetary gnome ass.
Yeah, planetary. It had rings around it and a fucking gravitational
orbit.
orbit.
Combination of words I ever thought could exist.
Yeah, I certainly didn't come up with it.
I don't know.
That was all of Twitter for like 3 days.
It was.
And now we
had that fucking Gnome Burglars game.
Yeah, Gnome Burglars. I mean, that just happened. That's like that's this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I think it just hasn't peaked yet in general. I think it's just gone up every year and has yet to peak.
I don't know. For a while there, it seemed like the gnome thing was slowing down a little.
There was a game I saw that
you certainly weren't slowing down, huh?
There was a different game I saw that had Gnome Depot.
Gnome Depot?
Yeah, the game wasn't even about gnomes, but they made a point of showing off Gnome Depot.
Well, then there was Gnome Dom.
Yeah.
We found that game on the PlayStation
That's
Store.
true.
Yeah, they're not going away.
No, they're not. They.
I don't know why people like them. I have been on a quest to understand why gnomes even continue to exist.
Maybe if you watch this show, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe the show will tell you.
I'm not watching it, dude. It looks like the lowest of Adult Swim content already with gnomes. I can't imagine.
If this is definitely a game that sets off, I forget what it's called, but like Trip to with the holes, yeah.
Crash,
Run, Forrest.
Run from the COVID.
Rainfall's gonna get you.
The rainfall.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, there is.
Do you think this is what happens to Joe Biden when he wakes up in the morning?
It's what it must at least feel like in the general experience.
I feel like I heard what he was up to recently, and it was so cool.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
Shit.
Well,
I
they
might
were
have to
trying
fuck with the
get
brightness
they were
settings.
trying to get him out on the speaking stuff. But I don't think
That's a
anybody-
waste of time.
Nobody wants to hear.
Yeah.
from
He couldn't speak while he was
Me.
president.
Yeah. I think he's pissed because like Bill got to charge like $250 a speech.
Uh-huh.
Obama was charging like 500, and I think he can't even get 50K, and it's pissing him off.
Well, yeah, because like,
Because he can't talk.
yeah, like Obama can give a speech. Fucking Biden can't.
I saw a clip from it too, and it was gibberish.
Yeah,
Like it really was gibberish.
yeah. He's
I'm amazed he's getting 50. Like, you could replace him with any random homeless person, and you would get the same speech. Better even.
Yeah, it would be significantly more coherent if you grabbed a random homeless person off the side of the road.
I mean, that might solve homelessness. If we replace all the presidential speeches with like random like bus stop guy speeches, because then they'll be making money. They'll be off the street pretty quick. You know, making the country a better place. Speeches will be more entertaining. People like to talk.
yeah. I mean, I'm totally okay. Yeah, let's see what Joe's up to.
If you can find that clip, it is pretty goddamn funny.
He usually is good. Oh dang, I didn't know that Trump called Biden the R-word twice. That's
I'm not surprised.
The first thing that comes up when you Google it, everybody talking about how Trump called Biden.
Yeah.
Not surprising, I would say.
Oh, actually, apparently Trump was quoting Kim Jong-un calling Biden a leech.
Soup Camp Sam doing Greg Wages shit on the Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Trump telling a bunch of kids that the Easter egg roll that Biden was rejecting.
I hope he did.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure, actually.
He was definitely shitting on Biden.
I mean, he was-
Biden a lot yet.
He was swearing up a storm, like on football.
Yep. Donald Trump says Kim Jong-un called Biden mentally retarded.
I like that Trump can't even just like say it himself. He's like, "Yeah, I heard from my good friend Kim."
Yeah, it's like he can't even just own that he's doing it. He has to be like, somebody else said.
That's all that anybody's talking about is how Trump said Kim Jong. Like, I can't find out whatever else Biden's up to.
Being retarded, I guess.
Painkillers that we...
Trump 79 launches rambling attack on Biden to confuse kids.
Also, red flag that, like, someone else that's another, like, the kid her same age is, like, hand-making painkillers and giving them to her.
Oh,
Nah, that's not good, is it?
yeah. I feel like handmade painkillers, not a symbol of quality.
Did they say a tablespoon or a teaspoon of fentanyl?
Yeah, you don't exactly go to the painkiller boutique store, you know.
Yeah. Haven't had apothecaries for a long time.
Well, we
should bring back Plague Doctor masks.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be pretty.
That should have been a thing.
Doctors should just have to wear those so they look cooler. Like, I don't care if it's just like a basic like checkup that I go in to get. They should have to wear that.
I don't know, man. Wouldn't you just feel like you were already dead? Like every time you went to the doctor's office.
Yeah, imagine waking up during like surgery or something.
It's just a bunch of Plague Doctor masks.
No, that's a horror sequence.
Staring down it.
It'd be kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie, but that would freak people out.
I like the idea. I think we should do it as a society. Well, what's new with you, Ulysses?
What is new? I'm trying to fucking think here. I've been trying to look for anything interesting in news, but it's all Iran.
Yeah.
The news cycle's getting hyper-fixated on that shit.
Like I said, on Israeli TV, I saw earlier today, they have a literal like New Year's countdown celebration to Trump's deadline. Like they're celebrating.
Put that into a living will, so they have to do it.
シュウ
Shout out Alex to miss the first monster reveal. Getting close.
Treat your will like a
Band's concert writer.
I hear shit's getting weird in Lebanon. The Israelis are blowing up Christians now.
Yeah, they are blowing up a shitload of Christians.
Yeah, the theories I've seen is that they're trying to create a sectarian war between the Christians and the Muslims.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You hear about that, Alex? Israel's also just fucking going hard on Lebanon now, too, at the same time.
Oh, Israel wants to annex it.
Yeah.
リンコ
And you've heard that they've also started targeting Christian community leaders.
Like, they've been specifically going to blow up as many, like, Christians as they can.
You gotta. It doesn't matter if they're Muslims or Christians. They gotta be ethnically cleansed to make room for
Greater Israel. I mean, Greater Israel just is the Fourth Reich. Like,
Hey, God promised it to
3,000 years ago.
I mean, that's the weird thing about this whole Israel thing is you've got outright Nazis who want a greater Israel, so they're working with the Israelis. And then the Israelis are like, well, Nazis are useful, so we'll keep them in power in the West so that we can have our greater Israel. And it's like the worst people on like these two very different, theoretically opposed sides who have created this unholy alliance.
Yeah. Well, I think also a big part of it. One, Israel's very right wing right now, anyway. But also,
Yeah, they fucking are.
I feel like Israel is super, like, quadrupling down on appealing to the international right because the left is very much anti-Israel. Like, there's no hope for them.
Oh, sure, but this has been a plan that's been going on since before the left was even, like, out of favor. I mean, they've been building connections with the right wing for, like, decades.
Well, they used to have pretty strong connections with the left, especially.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was
from the Clinton years, the corporate Democrats have always been super pro-Israel.
Oh, 100%. But I'm just saying that this weird sort of combo narrative of, like, far-right white supremacists and far-right Zionists, basically, has been brewing for a long time. It might not have been, like, Israel's, like, ace in the hole time, because they knew they had other options, but it was something that they were fomenting.
Yeah. Well, Israel's been very good at shaking hands on all sides of the aisle.
Yes.
They just they didn't get in with the they're losing support with the youth regardless.
Yeah.
Some of these younger people on the right, Nazi adjacent, they're not necessarily like this older group of Nazis who have been strangely pro-Israel. They're like going back to source material.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Well, a big part of it, too, is it ties into all, like, the dominionist shit, where, you know, there's all these ideas that if we empower Israel to create this apocalyptic war, then they'll somehow destroy themselves and all the Christians will take over the world.
Yeah.
Well,
Jesus will be back on Earth.
Right. They want to trigger the rapture. That's what they think will happen.
And young people, even those people on the right, are much less religious than older people are.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, support for Israel in the U.S. has become a generational question a lot more than it is a left-right question. Which I'm sure makes them nervous.
Which is also probably part of the reason they're doing as much as they can now. So historically, bum rushing your way to world power doesn't work out very well in the long run.
No, usually not.
Yeah.
I mean, the history is filled with the corpses of wannabe empires that burned bright and burned fast.
Yep. I mean, and you can try to get back everything that you lost or you had before, but a lot of times you'll just overextend and then it'll cause loss. Like when Justinian retook Italy and North Africa and all that, he actually set the Byzantines back quite a bit because he invested so much in retaking the western half of the Roman Empire.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we're staring down the barrel of with this whole Iran thing.
I mean, how much influence do we need in the Middle East?
All of it.
But we don't.
Well, Israel does.
Oh, yeah, we're doing this for Israel. Like when Trump says we don't need the Strait of Hormuz and all that and everything, it's like, he's right. So why do we even do this?
Well, you know, in
Israel
private,
does
Trump
it.
is saying that we should take the Strait of Hormuz and that we should try to turn it into some sort of long-term oil-producing thing for us.
Yeah.
Because,
I did hear him say that and then be like, but people just want the troops. Like even he knows
Yes.
that like Americans have no appetite to fucking occupy the straits for the next.
well, the thing is that Trump didn't actually go into this with a strategy. He just went, Venezuela was easy, this will be Venezuela again. And then it wasn't, and now he's freaking out, and he has no idea what to do.
Yeah, well, the idea that Iran was going to be anything like Venezuela is insane, and the fact
Well,
that
people were blowing smoke up his ass for a long time about it.
there was nobody they had a plan for. Like the key to Venezuela was identifying somebody. Luckily, the second in the chain of command that you could work with.
Yes.
So the transition was very easy. We didn't identify anybody second in the chain of command.
Well, it's also a completely different ballpark because, like, Venezuela, I mean, its entire government is pretty mercenary. Whereas Iran is, like, ideologically motivated.
Oh yeah.
They're completely insane. You cannot work with those kinds of motives the same way you could work with Venezuela.
And I mean, Iran's been Iran for so long.
Because of how we fucked with it the last time we fucked with it.
There's almost nobody.
It's also our fault.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep poking them.
There's
So,
relatively few people alive that remember the revolutionary. Whereas in Venezuela, there's a lot of people who remember things were pretty good in Venezuela in the late 90s and early 2000s. That the institutions still somewhat exist. Like they became like kind of performative.
Very.
Well, very performative when Maduro was in power, but all of that stuff is there. All the power in Iran's invested in the supreme leader in the IRGC. Like, you're not going to be able...
Which we're only going to empower further by openly targeting the civilian population.
Yeah, whereas the civilians have been, although they don't want to go out and protest it, because 35,000 massacred.
And we left them to die.
Yeah.
We basically told them, like, hey, if you protest, we'll come back you up. And
Yep.
then we're
And
like,
they believed it.
And we didn't... I mean, the dumbest thing about saying that when it happened was I think the U.S. was already thinking about doing that at the time, but we needed, like, months to pre-position stuff. Like, we couldn't react immediately, so why tell them to go out and get themselves killed?
Yeah. And then, even when we decided to fucking attack this time, we still didn't actually take the time to properly position anything. Because there is no actual strategy or plan. It's just doing shit to do shit.
I mean, it's one thing if we just wanted to go in there and just do a massive reduction in their capabilities and walk away. Okay. But
we already did that in, like, fucking July.
yeah, so I don't know what we're trying to do right now.
well, Trump said, used the words today, the entire civilization will die.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Like, I quote.
He talks like a cartoon supervillain. You know?
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I don't know how to take that other than, at the very least, the threat of using a nuclear weapon. I don't know how else to interpret that. Like, not that I don't know. I mean, it could
we're perfectly
certainly
good
be a
at
bluff,
genocide.
but
I mean,
it can be a bluff,
what-
but that's still what the threat is, even if it's a bluff.
And if
Well,
it is a
I
bluff,
mean,
it's going to be a freaking shitty one if he doesn't. If he says all this and then doesn't do anything.
what
Right.
he's really threatening is to do what we did in Iraq. When we
It
first,
sounds like he's threatening to do what we did in Japan.
yeah, but like my assumption and what he's talking about is basically like when we went into Iraq, the first thing we did was blow up their electrical grid,
Right.
blow up all the strategic bridges in the country, and like just totally decapitate society before we did that.
Right.
But the Iranians have been watching the same fucking 20 years of history we have and know that Iraq ultimately turned out very badly for us.
Yep.
Maybe not as bad as it did for Iraq, but, I mean, it is a fucking death pact.
Well,
It
it
does not
depends.
benefit the U.S.
It's really about what our goals are, right? Like
We have no goals.
I know.
Israel has goals.
It's one thing if we're just like, oh, we're just going to literally, like, knock this civilization back a couple of levels and walk away. But that doesn't sound like the plan. Like, I mean, everybody's all caught up in, like, well, what happens next? And what's it going to be like afterwards? And it's like, we shouldn't have done this in the first place. We cannot manage the transition or the rebuilding or anything like that. That's what killed us in Afghanistan. That's what killed us in Iraq. We cannot get involved in that again.
I mean, we are, though.
We spent a lot of.
It's too late.
We spent
I
a lot
mean,
of money
that's
on
happening.
missiles and bombs in those countries. We spent way more money building roads and setting up like polling stations and all the dumb shit.
Well, I mean, that's what Trump is talking about doing. He's talking about sending in ground troops to take over Karg Island, which is 20 years of sitting there getting mortar and rocket attacks at you. And then presumably we're just going to keep bombing the mainland. And yeah, maybe we're not going to try and rebuild the whole country, but we're going to be blowing infinite money trying to get oil off those fucking islands.
He's pretty much said that, like, outright.
And his dumb idea of, oh, well, if only we had taken the oil out of Iraq, we would have made money, is just doesn't take into consideration the expenses the military is going to incur on it. If you spend, trillions of dollars on bombs and missiles and, human lives, just so you can get a couple $1 billion out of oil, ain't worth it. But that's what we're doing.
Well, and I mean, at least the Saudis for sure want to keep Hormuz closed right now.
Right. Well,
they're selling half the oil they did before because they're all just pumping it to the Red Sea, like pumping it across the entire Arabian Peninsula.
Pump it up.
But they can only send about half of their previous output, but they're selling it for 3 times what they were before. So they're selling half of the oil and making more money. Why would they want to reopen the strait?
Another reason I think Trump wants to double down and muck things up even further is because the strait is kind of reopening for certain countries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Chinese ships are still getting through. So we're not really putting the same leverage on China that we're putting on our allies.
Yeah. Although he is really enjoying this as an opportunity to break with NATO.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to benefit us in the long run. Because all we do...
Europe's such an anchor, dude.
Oh, Europe is a parasite. But the thing is, we are in an era where the U.S. is fiercely dedicated to betraying everyone it can all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And when you do that, all you're going to create in this environment where the moment you're weak, everybody gangs up on you. So we're not going to foster long-term national survival strategies.
I mean, unless...
Who would actually come and help
US,
us if we did have,
Unless the U.S. is ready, which I still think is the most strategically intelligent thing for the U.S. to do. Unless the U.S. is ready to, firmly plant itself in the Western Hemisphere, then it's a totally disorder. Like, if we're going to try to be the world's policeman and still try to have all these international allies, pissing them off is just going to make things harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'd be one thing
if you want to make a solid break and go bring the boombox out of side of Mexico's house.
It's one thing when Trump is like, oh, NATO isn't pulling its weight, it's not really doing anything useful, we're spending all this money on it. It's another thing when he starts a war, goes, I don't need your help anyway, and then a week later when it's going badly, he's, why won't anyone help me? It just makes us look like bitches.
Yeah, Although I am surprised. I mean, well, France is paying Iran now, aren't they?
Are they?
Or I don't. They're negotiating with Iran to get their ships through.
Nah.
Because at the end of the day, man, I mean, this is really bad for Europe.
Mm-hmm. Europe is going to get hit the hardest, and then
Europe's
probably the
like,
smaller Asian countries.
well, the thing that people in Asia will pay whatever they need to pay for LNG, which means what's been happening to Europe is the handful of ships that have been going to Europe with LNG, because how the spot market works, somebody can call up and be like, hey, the Chinese are willing to pay $10 more per barrel or whatever, and the ship will just turn the fuck around and head to China.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a weird bidding war going on.
But Europe's at like its lowest natural gas storage levels since 2022, like since Russia invaded Ukraine.
America kind of has annoying little sibling energy, pick fight, then run behind your bigger
Older
brother.
sibling and say it's their fight now.
I would definitely say that about Israel.
Oh, Israel.
I think we're the I think we're the bigger sibling, and Israel's the little sibling picking the fight, and then forcing us to basically come in and actually deal with the situation.
And that's been true
Europe's
since like what, the 80s?
Well, yeah, basically for the last 45 years, Israel's been doing that.
Europe's like the older sister or the mom who we go to, and it's like, maybe you could talk to him. Like I screwed up. Could you please? Maybe call their mom. Like,
Call their mom. Oh, God.
Well, that's kind of what happens.
Israel definitely likes to throw a punch and then be like, "Wow, would you
How
like to
could you
deal with the
possibly
United
fight?"
States?"
Yup.
That's everything they do is basically that. Yeah.
It is crazy to see Saudi Arabia and the UAE trying to carve up like Africa in real time.
I'm not surprised.
Well, there's
That goes all the way back to like the fucking origin of bear culture.
But they're like
Is the U.S. military fucked if they try drafting Gen Alpha?
I think so.
Yes, those people are probably unused. They can't even fucking read.
I mean, do you know how bad they've had to already lower the standards to get people in because people can't pass the tests at all?
yeah, they raised the age, the maximum age for the U.S. military up to
45.
like Ukrainians.
Yeah.
Because young people can't pass the physical requirement exams to even.
The physical requirements are a big thing, and then there is a lot of like mental testing in the military. Many kids with like ADD and like anxiety and stuff like that. The military stuff. Why would that be useful? Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't exactly have a soldier who's like, watching brain rot on his phone while like there's bullets flying around him.
I mean, shit, I would get rejected if I wanted to join the military just because of the migraines I get. Like, that would be considered like a neurological incapability.
What I do think, it all depends
Yeah.
on how the future of warfare goes. Because Palantir now says they don't even really want college graduates. They're asking for people who are neurodivergent to just send in like a paragraph, and they're looking for people with like really weird brains. They're like these are the only people that are going to be useful in society in the future. Is people who can think in ways AI can.
Yep.
Because they're psychos.
Shit, we might end up getting like forced into it just because we wrote the fucking book.
Yeah, honestly.
But I thought that was super interesting, where they're like, no, we're really just looking for people who have, like, really divergent thought patterns. Like, we're not really interested in people who know how to do things the regular way anymore, because we're just going to replace those people with AI.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. When you already have a robot that can do it cheaper, then, you got to look for ways to fill the things the robot can't do.
Right, like, you need a Rain Man.
Yeah.
Like, the only people you want to work for you are Rain Man. 'Cause, AI can fill out the forms.
And at least until they can make like an AI Rain Man.
I told you guys about that anime Psychopaths, right? The Psycho.
Yeah.
And how the big sort of twist is that the AI that's doing all the thought crime stuff is actually a matrix of the brains of serial killers looking for more serial killer brains to inject into its brain matrix.
That's good shit.
I saw a serial killer.
Oh?
Yeah?
Ripley's Believe It or Not had.
I thought you were going to say it was at the Sex Museum.
Was it involved in the orgy?
Peter Curtin was a German serial killer, and they had his brain like still in the skull, and they cut the skull in half and like split it out like that, and had it like rotating like pie at a diner.
Damn.
Yeah. It looked like every other brain I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm sure it did visually.
They're all the same fucking thing, basically. That's odd.
Where's the big like gum head of Hey Arnold?
When can we have like brain rot Silent Hill?
No, that was basically the second half of the 2000s.
Oh.
The franchise went off the fucking
Okay.
rails
You've
the first
seen the
time.
We did already have it. It was called brain rot. It was called Silent Hill Ascension, but yeah.
Brain Rot Silent Hill already exists. You don't have to
I forgot
ask for it.
about
Have you guys seen the latest like kind of parental moral
Fucking
panic
so
that's going
dark
on
in
right
here.
now?
that. Oh, what is it now?
So apparently there's a game just like sweeping schools right now.
Numbers.
Now called Five Nights at Epstein's.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I might be on the
That's
side of
bad.
the parents on this.
Yeah, I might be on like the side of we should censor things
Yeah.
for that.
I mean, it's basically a Five Nights at Freddy's clone where you just try to escape Epstein like, on his island.
Yeah.
That's a little.
That's some
Yeah,
weird
I need to
stuff.
turn the brightness up more. Let's just fucking go all the way.
Oh, it's so much brighter.
Yeah, it's not.
So, like.
You just have to get to the end of the blood trail.
So Five Nights at Freddy's is the one with all those like animatronic characters.
Yeah, it's
right?
like if.
Yeah.
Chuck E.
So
Cheese
is there
was
like a
filled with
different
serial
like person in the
killers.
Epstein files for each one of those characters? Like Clinton was there, Trump was there. that kind
All
of
I've seen is like a basic kind, like basically a CBS news report of
Okay.
like panicked parents being like, "This."
I would panic, honestly.
thing. I'd be concerned.
I would be panicking if I was one of these parents.
That is a bit of a heavy topic for I get that, but I think it depends on the age of the person involved here.
I mean, as far as I know, it's just treating Epstein like this kind of monster.
Right. I assume it's not anything
It's not
graphic
going
or anything
into like
that.
what he was actually doing.
Yeah. I still wouldn't let like little kids play that.
No, I wouldn't want kids thinking about Epstein.
No,
That's
that's
probably something kids should not be exposed.
kids got enough problems these days.
But it definitely shows you the Epstein stuff's never going away.
Nope.
Like that is the most obvious look behind the curtain that I can remember in my lifetime, and people.
Oh, yeah.
People are not going to forget that.
And everybody in power is involved.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay.
Well, my pet theory's still on.
We're sending it to who could be targeted, but yeah, definitely questionable.
Yeah.
But I see how they got there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, yeah, for sure. I for sure got that.
But I still think that my pet theory is still that there's
It is a dead bird in their kimono.
What the fuck?
That's amazing. I love that. That's the strangest shit. Oh.
Let's see, that one is. I think that one.
I'm not even sure what any of these are.
That dead mouse.
Are they all just dead animals?
Yeah, I think they're all.
House with the rice patty hat on.
I want to see each of these close up. Let me see some of these. These are great.
Is he wearing a rice patty hat on his back?
Yeah, it did kind of look like that, didn't it? What is that one?
Let me see. This one.
Is this one just boring?
I think it's covered in blood.
Yeah, but it's not funny.
Yeah, I mean, and then this one.
It's like a candy bar. Oh, it's
I don't know.
Fan.
Six spots or
A fan,
fan,
yeah.
probably a fan.
Yeah. What's that? Is that a
Like a
fish?
corn husk.
Oh.
I don't know what
I think no, it's fish.
Scuba.
It's
It's
two
a fish.
It's
two fish.
Oh, two fish. Nice,
Two fish,
nice.
one cup.
No. No. you take that back.
You saved that for your spot. spiders.
You shouldn't.
Do you have 2 spiders, 1 cup?
No. Who wants another beer? I know I fucking need one.
Yeah, I'll take them. I mean, technically, I haven't finished that one, but I will take this
Get
one.
one
'Cause I
ready
will
for
finish
the
both.
next.
That's my point.
Oh shit! I think we only have 2 left.
Oh,
Well, here, Alex, you bought them. You get one of those for sure. Yeah, that's the last other one.
oh shit. Well, you can have it then.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't finish mine, so I'm not going to like sit here with 2 of them.
Fair
Well,
enough.
you don't have any. I like the dead bird.
The only person two-fisted around here is Sage and Spider.
You goddamn.
I mean, I don't know. What's it take to pleasure feel?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I have no idea.
Why, you never succeeded? Like,
That's why I think
I've
Sage
never
is,
tried.
That's why I think Sage is Canadian. 'Cause I heard him saying elbows up.
God damn it.
there's an interesting thing I saw where they think that pre-human ancestors may have
This
originated.
guy like a Zelda villain?
Yeah, what the hell?
He's basically like one of those.
Three?
He's like one of those evil fox spirits.
Yeah, that was my
Like-
second guess.
Yeah,
Don't trust the fox spirit.
yeah. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the aesthetic of of the other world though in this game, because typical kind of classic Silent Hill, it's the like rusty, bloody, like super. What's the word I'm looking for? Industrialist sort of feel.
Sure.
Here, it's this like hyper, like traditionalist. So it's like it's less kind of gross looking and more clean and neat and sort of
More like a dark fantasy vibe.
yeah.
So when do we run into Pagoda?
Go to head.
We're not getting a pagoda head.
But yeah, apparently pre-human, like still ape ancestors might have actually originated in the Fertile Crescent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not Africa, as we had previously assumed. Like some portion of our evolutionary history
Also,
still took
really like
place in
the
Africa.
artwork.
I know. Recently they found that like modern humans were in Europe where we thought they were.
Yeah, it's been really weird because they found
It's keep readjusting.
Yeah,
we
'cause-
keep finding shit.
the oldest was in Europe, and then it was back in Africa again.
That was
Now
in
it's in
Asia.
the Middle East. Yeah, it's all over the fucking place.
Which would the Middle East would make sense if you're getting like evidence of humans having been in Africa and Europe long before we thought. That would probably be a reasonable place to assume they came out of.
It really is like the birthplace of like human civilization in more ways than we thought.
I mean, when you think about how old Göbekli Tepe is, you have to think about how long humans were there. That's a hell of a project for nomadic people to undertake.
Oh yeah. The thing is too is we have no idea how many grand wooden projects there might have been in the distant past. All that shit would've rotted away.
do still think that I'm pretty taken with Graham Hancock's kind of like lost civilization thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, some of the stuff you see that's older than anything we expected is pretty impressive.
Mhm.
Like you do wonder if this like human civilization reached a pretty decent plateau, and then we got like a Bronze Age.
When we
collapse.
nuked each other.
Yeah, like a Bronze Age collapse or something. I'm not talking about like ancient aliens.
No,
like,
no.
They had, like, high
No. I'm just saying humans like fucking mass killed each other off
Oh,
to the point that it
sure. Yeah, I
reset
mean,
things.
But I could see.
Could have been disease, could have been a
Could've-
famine.
it also could have been
wars.
disease,
'Cause,
yeah.
the Bronze Age collapse was just all of those things combined.
Yeah, and I mean, like I could see like an almost Roman Empire level society having existed 10,000 years ago and just getting wiped out by something.
Well, look at the Dark Ages that came after the Roman Empire did collapse.
That's right.
So, I mean, yeah, that's literally
Or even
happened
after the
already.
Bronze Age collapse. I mean, that was like an even worse Dark
Bronze
Age.
Age
Right,
medieval
collapse
one.
set all of civilization back like a millennia.
Yeah, Egypt was the only civilization left standing.
So, I mean, that's not unrealistic.
It's one of those things where, like, it's an idea that is so layered with kooky bullshit from so many different people that, like, people don't take it seriously at all. But if you, like, strip it back and are more reasonable about it, it's not an unbelievable essence.
I think people jump to Ancient Aliens very quickly.
They do.
You know, so that's, yeah, Fox.
Burn it.
I think Bluebeam's
Laughing
coming.
at her.
I think Bluebeam's coming pretty.
We're kind of, I feel like it's kind of already
It's kinda
happened.
already happened.
Yeah, they've been teasing it for a while now.
Well, they got to soften people up to it.
Mhm.
I'm still curious about when Artemis pops out on the other side of the moon. If they're not going to be like, "Whoa, there's aliens down there, we found them!" Like,
That'd be hilarious.
Did you see the call between
I did see
Trump
that.
and the people?
You
the
should thank
astronauts?
me for cutting your budget. I saved you, NASA.
Well, and all of them were just like, yeah, we don't. We're gonna. They like ended the call early because they like just kind of pretended they couldn't hear him. They didn't want to talk to him.
it was pretty awesome. We got to remember, I mean, like, this is mostly a Biden-era project.
It is.
People
Right.
that were selected in that time, everything. So it's kind of awkward.
Not that
to have-
he knew, but you know.
Yeah, but it's kind of awkward to have Trump come in now.
I feel like we're only even doing this mission because of the Chinese.
Oh, for sure. Well, I mean, Elon has decided to switch over from the Mars base to the Moon base, which he always should have been thinking about the Moon base because you need a gas station in space before you're going to really do anything.
I mean, really, you need a lot of shit in near Earth orbit. You need like fucking, facilities to break down asteroids and shit. You need a refueling station. You need like construction.
There's a
Or-
lot of
or-
infrastructure you have to
Sort of.
build first.
But short of setting up on, because we can get ships off of Earth and to the Moon.
Yeah.
But you're going to need to refuel, and the only way to really refuel in space reasonably is to get to the south pole of the Moon and fracture the water ice there into hydrogen. Like there's no other high quality fuel source nearby Earth outside of the Earth's gravity. Basically.
Unless you start dragging asteroids back to Earth, which is also plausible.
I've been saying for a long time I want him to start dragging the asteroids back.
That's how you get a Dead Space, Alex.
I don't know. I mean,
Bro,
would Dead
there's like
Space make
four-
the world worse at this
There's
point?
there's an asteroid out
I mean,
there.
unless the
CIA
necromorphs are pedophiles, no.
The CIA already sent a plane to the asteroid that has like $4 quadrillion of like platinum and gold and shit in it. Like,
And probably one of the markers.
Look, if we can release
I'm
Necromorphs.
convinced, man.
if we can release necromorphs onto Epstein Island and into the upper echelons, people doing that shit,
Ulysses, did you
I
know,
will take the necromorph side. Okay?
Do you know if you look up the
Become a
address,
unitologist.
Hell yeah!
Did you know that if you look up the address on SpongeBob SquarePants' driver's license, it brings
Oh,
you to Epstein Island?
I do know that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. God damn it.
Dan,
That's fucked up, man.
it's Nickelodeon.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe in that freaking Drake Bell documentary. It was like, and Dan Schneider was there for me the entire time. And I'm like, all I know about everything I've seen about accusations about Nickelodeon is that dude is guilty as fuck.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, it's the kind of shit that is sadly not surprising.
yeah, unfortunately. Man, that Drake Bell documentary was depressing as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to watch.
I never liked any of the shows that he was in or really cared for that guy, but I really felt for him after that documentary.
The only problem is that he then turned into like a huge rapist himself afterwards. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's the kind of thing where like people
Yeah,
that get
right.
abused end up abusing someone else because it's the way they sort of, they just get fucked up and that's how they think about the world or whatever. But
It's like Ruby.
I could.
abuse
I don't know.
breeds abusers. I mean,
Oh,
that's
it
just
definitely.
true.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. That's well proven. But
Unfortunately, yeah, that happened with him.
Don't trust the creepy doll.
The fox or the creepy doll? Which you got to pick one.
I guess I'll take the
To
creepy
extol
doll.
the advent of our clan, we bestow upon this sacred land the name Heaven's benediction. Send forth to the sky a crane, to the earth a serpent, and to the spring a tortoise. Pray for this prosperity of our clan.
kind of weird that it'd be like a Western doll. The Japanese have their own kind of doll tradition.
Oh.
Have you seen that Gavin Newsom's?
It's less popular than Trump.
Oh yeah, well he's that, but
Somehow.
also Gavin Newsom's wife is blowing up his whole like honor kind of appeal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's just been going out and speaking and stuff like that, and Gavin Newsom's been trying to be like, oh no, like I trying to be this kind of more like, oh I have questions about this element of like progressive ideology or whatever. And his wife's out there being like, yeah, I make my sons play with dolls.
Jesus Christ.
And it's just like, because he's been so fake lately. Like it's embarrassing.
I mean, lately.
Well, but I mean, he's been trying to be like, oh, like I can get some of the people that voted for Trump back to the Democratic Party because I feel this way about these hot button issues.
You know, that's such a fucking waste of time. Like, I don't know why Democrats bother with that shit.
It's tough.
the,
It's tough, man. I mean, like when you look at like an analysis of previous elections, in a lot of ways, Trump stole Obama's coalition. Like he hasn't quite made it with black voters, but he's got similar numbers to Obama with Hispanic voters, and he got the white working class, which is how Obama got elected. So the Democrats need to have some kind of plan. But just being obnoxiously fake and pretending that you didn't do any of the things you did before is not going to help you get elected.
A big part of it is we just don't really have very many, like, working class Democrats.
No. Well, and the Democrats need to basically say, like, no, Trump, you can't take the industrial unions away. Like, the Democrats have been so reflexively anti-Trump that they've been willing to throw out, like, their historical ideology just to be the opposite of him. Like, the tariff thing, like, has been kind of a mess, but the idea of protecting like industry in America for the Democrats to be like, no, we're like 100% Mitt Romney free trade now. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not very smart. Then again, no one ever accused the Democrats of that, right?
But I don't know. That pissed me. Like they should be fighting Trump on the same terms, being like, no, we have a plan to protect like industrial jobs in the Midwest. Not. No, now we want to outsource everything.
Great fucking sound design in this.
Because one of the weirdest things about like the new kind of populist movement that is changing like right-wing politics is the right wing accepted that everybody on like trade policy and stuff like that everybody's economically left wing.
Fully become solely, but we're not those guys with nothing going for them.
Nothing beneath it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
That's 100% true.
That's usually what they do.
But on certain issues like that, the right has just been like, okay, everybody's economically left wing. Like, there really isn't a constituency for the right wing view on trade. Which the answer for the Democrats was not to be like, okay, well, we'll be right wing on trade because you're left wing on trade.
No, that's fucking stupid. The Democrats are basically, they've basically become, yeah, bish. You know, I don't know how long I can control my friend here.
Well, they also, I mean, like, because the old school Republicans don't like Trump, they've been way too open to, like, listening to those people.
Right.
Like, those people are still, like
Well, much of
Dick Cheney and George
Yeah.
W. Bush and
It's
Mitt
the Bush
Romney and
Republican
Donald
Party
Trump
is the
still-
Democrat Party now.
all still pieces of shit. Like, regardless of what Trump has done, those were all still bad people that did bad things to us.
Well, and a lot of the Democratic Party is just that group of people now, but they call themselves Democrats instead of Republicans. That's like a huge portion of
Yeah,
that.
I just felt like Joe Biden should have come out and been like, no, I don't want Dick Cheney to like,
Yeah. I mean, if Kamala Harris had like rejected Dick Cheney's endorsement and said "fuck that guy," like no one wants your endorsement. You're not.
Of course, that goes back to what you were saying, Alex, where they're trying to win over,
yeah, they're trying to
voters
win over
with,
the
like,
Mitt
these ass
Romney.
clowns.
The Mitt Romney.
Yeah, Democrats. Yeah, their focus is instead of anybody actually on the left, they just want to win over people on the right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why Gavin Newsom's been doing what he does, and why it's so funny to watch his wife be like, no, we're like full-on progressives, and just blow up this entire presidential thing. Because he already pissed off the left trying to appeal to those people.
Right.
Do you think AOC tries to take Chuck Schumer's Senate seat, or you think she runs right to right?
I think she'll probably try for the Senate seat.
I think so.
Yeah.
It looks like Schumer's toast. Like, that Senate
I
seat.
mean, I'll take her over him.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Fuck that guy.
but
Schumer's garbage.
it looks like that Senate seat is hers if she wants it.
Mhm.
Whereas trying to run for president,
Nah, she's not going to do that. Wouldn't work out.
I don't know, she might need a couple years under her belt. I do think she has the most.
Of a
I mean-
chance of any of the big names,
Well,
right?
I just don't know if you can win the presidency anymore without a cult of personality.
Yeah.
Like, I think,
It's meme energy, like we always say.
yeah, and
You need memes.
she's got the most of it in the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I think that's
There's
true.
nobody else who has the cultural relevance that she does on the
But I do think she would need another. I'd say maybe in like the 2034 election.
Democrats
Maybe then.
Democrats have to win 2020 because once the 2030 census hits,
Right.
and if the Republicans get to decide how that census goes, it's going to be like 20, 30 years before the Democrats win a presidential. Because the California, Minnesota, New York, they're going to bleed congressional seats to the South. I think it's something like a 9-seat swing, which, with how narrow congressional majorities are now, would lock you out of power.
Yeah. Yeah.
あの人はいない
If they win in 2028, they don't have to. They can try
受け取ってもらえて
to
嬉し
make
い
things a little better in the
淡雪
census.
の攻撃
Whereas the Republicans are basically being like, we're not going to count any undocumented
私
people
の
ever again. And that will really.
その鍵を稲荷像に
But then who are they running 2028? Yeah,
I
but
still
Newsom,
think
I don't
AOC,
think.
I still think AOC has the best.
I agree, but will she actually run yet, or will she go for Senate and then run?
If I was
next
her,
time?
I'd go for the Senate seat.
Yeah.
I would definitely. If I was her, I'd definitely go for the Senate seat. But I don't know who would fare better in presidential elections. Because can you think of another Democrat that people would be excited about?
No.
Bernie, maybe.
Bernie's way too old.
I don't know. Trump's old as shit.
I guess, but
That's true, but I also think people have lost
Bernie,
their interest in him a little bit
Bernie
because he stopped
pushing-
fighting as hard.
Wouldn't Bernie be
I
pushing
mean, I
90?
guess, but who else is fighting at all?
Wouldn't he be pushing 90 in 2021?
Maybe.
He's easily into his 80s, if I remember correctly. He might be getting pretty close to. I mean, people will vote for anybody as long as they're on their side in this country.
Oh,
but
for
I
sure.
feel like a 90-year-old president would be
It might be a hard sell.
Hard kill.
I mean, maybe, but I'll take a 90-year-old president over somebody who doesn't do anything.
Or another like corporate.
Yeah. And there's a difference between Bernie being old and Biden being old.
Yes,
Bernie
no, for sure.
definitely-
Bernie's got his
he's
mental
still there.
faculties
Yeah.
intact. He can think.
Yeah.
He's
And
kind
talk.
of given up on some of the things that he defined as war. So he's still.
No, that's definitely true.
Well, you know,
Still
like,
don't.
he does it when he talks about, you know, he used to be millionaires and billionaires, and now he just says billionaires because he's a millionaire, so he doesn't bring up millionaires anymore.
He is 84 years old.
Yeah,
So
he's only
he would
5
be-
years older.
He would be 87.
Yeah, I do think that might be a hard sell, because he'd be into his 90s during his term. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what
I mean,
I don't know, he's in better shape than a lot of politicians are.
No, I agree.
100%.
But that number, you know, I just think it'll stick in people's minds, like when they think about voting for him. I don't know.
I don't know, but if that's... There's a lot of things that can stick in a voter's mind, and I think other Democratic candidates have worse versions of that.
Oh, sure. I think Gavin Newsom would still do worse.
No, yeah, he's trash, man.
He's a salamander.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
I think if he had better name recognition, Ro Khanna might have the best chance. But
people don't know who he is as much.
Yeah, he has no. But he's got.
But I do
the-
think he would be.
he's got the
He'd be better.
progressive bona fides. He's well spoken. Like
We sort of part of that group that like AOC and Rashida Tlaib are part of. So
He's part of the squad.
yeah,
it.
he's
He's
the
like
only.
squad adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also like one of the only Democrats that like made a really big stink about the Epstein files and like was like demanding shit and like
Yeah, it was really Ro Khanna.
Thomas Massey. Yeah, Thomas Massey from the right.
So
and
if I
Ro
learned
Khanna
one
from the
thing
left.
from the Trump administration, people who claim to be really interested in
Well, that's true.
getting the files out don't necessarily tell the truth.
But Ro Khanna was on the Democrat
Sure.
side.
And Thomas
Attractive.
Massey was for sure invested in it because Trump is expending every bit of energy to make sure he doesn't win his primary election.
Right.
That's true. He's being attacked by Trump directly, so you know he was serious.
But still, you couldn't trust people like Tulsi Gabbard.
There's no room in the Republican Party for a true libertarian anymore. Like Rand Paul and Thomas Massey, both their days are numbered.
Mhm.
I'm surprised they're not all dead, if I'm being honest.
Well, Trump didn't. What was like the congressional picnic? Like Trump invited all the Democrats, all the Republicans, and then didn't invite Rand Paul.
街から誰もいなくなってるこれが悪い夢なのか
ここに
Was he sad?
生き物しかいない
Was he sad he didn't get an invite?
Yeah, he
世
was.
界の何者でもないの
Of course.
だとしても幸運だったよこの世界に残ったのが2人だとしてそのもう一人がお前で嬉しいよ相棒
Fucking drug dealer. Making homemade painkillers. I wouldn't trust this guy either.
あいつの話があるって言われただけで別にその
リンコは無事なのか一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか
West Virginian doctor.
あ
Making instead of toilet wine, it's toilet painkillers.
あ混乱してたみたいだ
Have you ever seen like TikTok videos of like women will post like TikTok videos? They're like the front desk person at like a doctor's office or whatever, and talk about how many how pharmaceutical reps just come in and drop off coffee in the morning or bagels. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And how
I've
it's
seen
like
that.
an endless stream of pharmaceutical reps bringing like multiple
Gifts.
times a day, bringing food and gifts.
Yeah, that's pretty gross, man. It's just bribes. It's just all day long bribes after bribe.
You know, doctors can get kickbacks on prescriptions, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why they give so many goddamn prescriptions.
I mean, that's kind of what the opioid thing was all about.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do with the Democrats. I mean, they can't fucking sell anything.
Well,
Nor do a lot of people
I
want
still-
to. And you can't really convince people to vote.
Well, look
you know,
at like Hillary Clinton talking about how good a job Trump has
Yeah.
been doing lately. Like they want the shit with Iran to happen because they're also fucking evil.
Oh, they're also probably making money off it.
And and they're
I mean, there's a lot of insider trading.
Well, it's like the only hope for the Democrats is how much people on the left hate Trump.
Yeah.
Because, like, I saw some report on CNN with their election analyst or whatever, and this is like the first time going into a midterm election that the party in power has been more approved of than the party out of power, because even Democrats hate congressional Democrats. Like their approval rating's like 18%. Like it's
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, the thing is, we have a political environment where people pretty much always just stay within their parties, and if you have, shit-ass approval within the party, then people won't just switch to the side, they just go home.
well, and even when there's a chance, like in Nebraska, there's an independent running, and in 2024, this guy also ran. And the Democrats decided not to run a candidate because, like, they're not going to win an election in Nebraska. So why compete with the independent? If the Democrats vote for the independent and some Republicans vote for the independent might win.
Yeah.
This year they're running a candidate,
Oh, okay.
so the Republicans are definitely going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whose strategic idea that was, but
Yeah. Well, there was no strategic idea behind anything. It's just doing shit to do shit again.
壊れたらどうする
because that independent actually got decently close in 2024. This is a favorable election year for Democrats. Why would you run your own candidate and guarantee a loss in that state? But that doesn't make any sense.
また道が
A lot of these pills just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, this whole town's addicted to that shit, huh? Wasn't expecting a game set in Japan to be so much about the fentanyl epidemic. Kind of looks like down the street.
Yeah, there's that torn down CVS just over here.
Well, that and that fucking apartment complex not far from it. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
fentanyl center.
I gotta run to the bathroom real quick.
Sure. Yeah, we might be heading for a situation where we have like even more of just an outright uniparty. Because I mean, there isn't really going to be any Democrat opposition anymore.
I think the Democrats still have an excellent chance of winning the midterms because of how pissed their base is on Trump is bad.
Sure.
Nothing they do will help them win at all. They are doing nothing politically to help them win. I just think even though their base hates them, they will still show up because they hate Trump.
But that just leads to a downward spiral, much like with the Republicans, where you have people who only vote for you because you're their team, and then even though they hate you, just like the fucking Democrats' negotiating strategies, meaning if they win, it won't change anything. Yeah, it's 100% true because they're fucking weak. But yeah, I mean, it'll be like fucking Ted Cruz, right? Nobody on the right likes Ted Cruz, but he keeps winning all the time.
Yeah, that's. If it wasn't for the fact that
Yep.
Cutting their position back before they even get to the table. Always.
Democrats have always been pussies.
If it wasn't for his own loyalists, there wouldn't really be any turnover in the Republican Party. It's only the fact that he's at war with the traditional Republican Party that some of these people have been pushed out at this point. And there's nothing like that on the Democrat side. Like, the progressives kind of need a Trump, right? Like somebody that just says, fuck you, you don't agree with my direction, you're out of the party, I'm going to primary you. Like,
Yeah.
There was a point in time where it was almost Bernie. We almost had that with Bernie. But
I don't know if Bernie has that personality.
Well, I think that's the thing is he doesn't, and that's why we didn't get it. But
Right.
he was the person in the position to, if he had demanded that sort of thing,
well,
he could have pulled it.
He was a very different person in 2016.
Yeah.
It's almost night and day to listen to Bernie in 2016. He got neutered by the party pretty well.
He did.
Well, like I said, once his book sort of went viral and he became a millionaire, he stopped talking about millionaires, and he only is talking about millionaires now.
Yeah, that's true. But he is still right about the villain.
He is.
The
I
Trump
just this is
administration
crazy
has
now.
kind of proven why those people are completely unsuitable for any form of political power. What are these things? Anyway?
Well, sort of up to your symbolic interpretation, right? I think there's definitely something being said about, like, sort of a dollification of, like, a woman's body going on, for sure. Got an inventory slot.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, we've very consistently seen that, like, billionaires are the worst people you could possibly have in power.
I just no one other than a really terrible person would even want to have that much.
Yeah.
Like
And
you
plus,
have to be a
like,
psycho piece
There's
of
people
shit.
who think Trump drained the swamp. Yeah, that's a good
I
question.
think even his base is pretty pissed at how whack.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who still think he's like the second coming of Jesus.
I saw Tucker Carlson call him evil and like invoke the 25th Amendment this morning.
Yes, that was in response to the Iran thing.
Yeah,
But Tucker Carlson's been anti-Trump a bit.
that's true.
Mostly because of the whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Trump and all the people in his orbit have largely proven that billionaires, like, their lifestyle makes them completely unsuited for any form of leadership because they spend all their time completely insulated from the consequences of anything they do.
And just
Well, and
reality
they're
in general.
They're so purely mercenary, too.
Yeah.
Because they were all pretty anti-Trump until he won the election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they were super pro-Trump.
Yep.
And it's just like they will just...
Whatever they think is going to
they
make
have
them more
no
money
morals.
in
They
the
have-
moment
yeah.
is
Yeah.
all they care about.
They don't actually believe it.
The only belief that is somewhat consistent among them is basically the idea that they alone will inherit the earth.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. We'll see how AI goes. Silicon Valley right now, they're talking about how hard, like...
Can't bridge that vast difference of perspective that comes with having wealth on that
Oh,
scale.
yeah, no
No,
way.
no.
No way. Like, people who could solve all of an average person's problems and not notice it, like, there's just no way that you can have a similar outlook on life.
I mean, yeah, like I'll tell you right now, like there's literally not a problem that I have that money wouldn't solve. As someone who is pretty psychologically happy, and like on like a basic level, and does not have any mental health struggles, if I just had unlimited money, I'd be the happiest person in the world. There's nothing that would even upset me anymore. Like.
And part of the problem with America, and with the Trump base in particular, is we still have this idea of, like, the prosperity gospel. That if somebody has billions of dollars, it must be because they're a superior person.
And that's
They must be smarter, they must be more moral, they must be, that are Christian, all that shit. And people will ride or die with that shit all the way to the end.
Well, and I mean, like, one of the big problems too is I don't even know how you radically transform society enough, but like society both suffers from the billionaires and depends on them to pay what meager taxes they do because they still do pay a lot of the tax. Because it's like
They pay zero taxes.
A lot of them find loopholes and then get kickbacks
They-
to the point that it evens out to where they've
And
basically
they get
not
so many
actually put
subsidies
any
from the
money
government,
in.
they're making way more than anything.
They're basically
they make-
making a profit off of
I
the
mean,
taxes they pay.
They make a big impact on like balance sheets, regardless. Like Kathy Hochul in New York, you know, in 2020 was like, "Go to Florida, we don't need you," and all that. And then just like in the last week, she's been like, "Please bring some of your friends home from Palm Beach because like we don't have enough money." Like it's
But they wouldn't have had enough money even if they stayed. Because I think
They didn't before.
the problem is that billionaires say that, but they don't actually do anything beneficial for like average society when they're there.
I mean,
You would absolutely take a massive hit if you like threw them all out, but you're going to take that hit if they stay.
I mean, they definitely underpay their taxes.
They also openly tear apart every social system in order to make more money.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
do a lot more damage over time.
Like they're making more money back from what they're doing otherwise than what they're paying in.
Yeah,
I mean, regardless of the damage they do to society, they're still paying like 40% of the taxes in some of the states. And when they leave, like all you end up doing is jacking up property taxes on the people who live there and can't afford to leave.
but we've also seen that those taxes ultimately get paid back to them through, again, subsidies and various other things.
Yeah, I mean,
and then those property prices keep going up anyway.
It divides between state and federal, and it has undeniably hurt states like Illinois and New York and then you don't really have anybody to tax it. Yeah. It's like in Washington State, they have they introduced like a new 10% tax on millionaires and income tax. And then like the CEO of Starbucks leaves, and Starbucks moves a bunch of its corporate offices to Tennessee. And, like somebody's got to pay for stuff.
Sure, but the reason the average people couldn't afford to pay for the stuff in the first place is because billionaires fucked everything up and made the place unlivable.
And that's what I was saying. Like you
kind of have to just burn a bridge at that point.
You have to radically transform society.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's what they said in Venezuela. You know what I mean? Like you can just take the money from the rich people. And then,
well, the problem is they have to take it and then kill them.
Be unlimited.
Well, also part of the problem with Venezuela.
I highly disagree with the system we exist under.
Just
but
business
unless
holding a place hostage, it wasn't a healthy ecosystem, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's literally impossible for it to get to a place where it does work with them. And, like, it could be painful to get rid of them temporarily, but...
Okay, but like I said, you could end up like Venezuela, where all the people with the money leave. And then you have to start taxing the average person, and then eventually...
That's why you kill them. You line them up with the guillotines, and you don't let them leave. You kill them.
They kind of did that in Venezuela also. I mean, I'm just saying, like...
Venezuela had much broader problems, though. I mean, its government was also...
Okay, but when Hugo Chavez came in, like, Venezuela was a relatively rich country. I'm not saying that there isn't a way to reform the system to make it work, but if you want to keep running the same system and take all the money from the rich people, even though they have a lot of money, their money eventually runs out. And then if you want to maintain the same system you have to start redefining what rich is until people are eating the animals at the zoo. Like, I don't know what the system is, but if you run all those people out of your country, then there is no money.
Sure, but I feel like you're caught in a catch-22 here, because otherwise you go like the Russian route, where technically your country has a lot of money.
The oligarchs have all the money, but I don't know what...
Either way, you're eating animals at the zoo.
Yeah, I guess that's
true. It's kind of, it kind of ends up in the same place, either path.
I mean, what about fucking North Korea? I mean, Kim has a lot of money. mean?
It's a choose your own adventure story where
Well,
no matter
that's
what you do, you end up in the exact same place.
I mean, North Korea. I mean, the problem is you end up as like an oligarchy like Russia,
Mhm.
or you end up like North Korea, where like it's not necessarily like the oligarchs that have the money, but the people who are involved in the bureaucracy become the
I'd
new
qualify
elite.
them as oligarchs anyway. To be honest.
Yeah, but they're oligarchs by virtue of their bureaucratic status.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
like the
No, that's-
Soviet,
yeah,
like the
for sure.
Soviet Union. Like,
Well, I mean, that's sort of the thing. There's not really a difference between like extreme capitalism and like communism because they both follow that exact same model. We just have different words.
yeah,
for
just
it.
It's a horseshoe theory, right? I mean,
whatever it is, whatever the metric of like societal status is, wealth accumulates to those people. So whether you're a commissar or a CEO, like in these systems, like because you sit at the apex of power, all the money and influence flows to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I mean, this is just me, but I feel like it's one of those things that is, it might just be impossible to prevent.
Well,
Like
it's kinda
all human
it's kinda
civilization
like
may
now
just be
you hear-
doomed to
now you
always do
hear-
these
now
things.
It's certainly the trend of history.
Sam Altman talking about like, oh, we'll have like universal basic income
That'll
and
never
all that kind of stuff.
No, we won't.
You might, but it'll be like subsistence level. You
It
know?
won't even be that.
It'll be kind of like when people get on like Section 8 housing and welfare and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, we'll
Those
give
people
you,
sure are happy.
People
we'll give
hate
you
doing
enough-
that in this country, though.
we'll give you enough.
I mean,
to
what about the whole
survive.
welfare queen there?
Well, people hate it, but I'm also just talking about when people get on those programs, they get stuck in a situation where it's like, oh, here's enough for you to subsist. But if you try to get off the system and get more money, we'll
Then you
take
lose it.
We'll take
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all away from you.
Right.
And then you'll be in worse shape than you were before. Like, that's what I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
UBI thing is. It's to
Yeah.
get
Sure.
people to accept significantly reduced
Quality of
quality
life.
of life in lieu of working, but there will be no way to escape.
I just don't even know if that'll be much of a sell because people hate the idea of like other people getting money for nothing.
I mean,
That's definitely a very American particular
also-
perspective.
That's also 100% true. But if there's no jobs, you know, I mean, like, it's kind of like people.
I think
in
we're going
red
to see
states-
some serious
people
mass
in red
suicides.
states- People in red states take a ton of welfare.
Yeah.
I mean, California has the highest, but I don't know how it breaks down, but they're taking a significant portion of the welfare in this country.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
for sure. For sure. A lot of the
But
people that
they'll turn
complain about
around-
it the most are the people that actually
But
are
they'll
receiving.
turn around and say all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if there are no jobs in rural Kentucky, they're going to take the government money. Like, they might act like they don't, but
Well,
they do.
they usually
Some
the
of
way
them
that,
will. Some of them will kill themselves when they realize that's all
Also,
that's
the
left
way
in
though
life.
that usually works is there's usually a different narrative. You know, it's like, oh well, it's okay if the rural white people take those jobs because hey, they're going to spend it on what they need. It's not like those ethnic
Which is
city
how it-
slickers
which
who
is
waste their money on
exactly-
sirloin steaks.
Well, and
Which
have
is
you seen the
exactly
mass
how the
suicides going on in
UBI
India already?
Yes, because the centers are all closing and
Well,
IT jobs are gone.
Yep.
We're going to see that here.
Yeah, I think you'll see some of that here for sure. But I'm just saying, the people, like right-wing people, will take the UBI. They, like Ulysses said, they might have this different narrative about why they actually need it or whatever, but they're going to
Right.
take it.
End up reinventing the company store, build government stores. Yeah, I mean the government will just be a company.
Yeah. Oh, well, is it not?
Yeah. I mean that's part of the big thing with unrestrained capitalism is it turns into a fucking monopoly.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you just become so, like I was saying, even if the billionaires aren't paying all their taxes, they're paying enough of their taxes to matter to these states that they have tons of power in them.
Well, mostly they spend money on like bribing politicians.
Well, it's like you said, Alex. That the states depend on the money, but then the federal government kicks it back to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're ultimately getting all their money back. But you're right that the state is needing that. That's the problem,
Because,
right?
yeah,
It's
like
yeah.
they've got the ballot initiative in California.
It's a hostage situation.
Yeah, you got the ballot initiative in California for the wealth tax, and Gavin Newsom's been super against it because he looks at the
He knows they're going to
he
move.
looks at the state budget and he knows that like the founders of Google already moved, Mark Zuckerberg already moved, and he knows that like for every one of those people that moves, that's like 1 to 2% of the state budget per person. Like
Right.
I mean, like when you're worth $200 billion and you pay income tax on the $100 million you make in a year or whatever,
At least
that
on
is
paper.
still a lot of money. Like, that's nothing to them, and they're evading taxes on capital gains and a bunch of other stuff, but on their income specifically, that's still a huge amount of money to the state of California for every one of those super billionaires who leaves.
Well, the problem I see is that I don't know if there's a way out of that scenario because, like you said, it is like a hostage situation. It's the kind of thing where you almost have to take preventative measures decades and decades or 100 years before it even happens. You have to have
Which,
the
it's something
foresight.
we used to do back when we had fucking, like, actual
Well,
laws
the
against corruption.
only way out of it is to build a sovereign wealth fund like Norway does.
Sure.
But, I mean,
I don't know if it's possible here.
Almost nobody does that.
Right.
Even
Norway has it pretty figured out, to be honest. Yeah.
Even the fact that Trump floated it a while ago, like, oh, we'll make a sovereign wealth fund, and then people were like, well, you kind of need to pay the debt back first before you start a sovereign wealth fund.
It requires foresight that Americans have never had.
Yes,
Very true.
we're not in a position to do it. Even as like Trump's been like pissy because he can see that Norway and Saudi Arabia have these things and they're really good for their countries. We're too deep in the hole to start with. It would have been a really good idea if, like, George W. Bush made the decision after Clinton left us with a surplus to not waste trillions of dollars on wars in the Middle East and instead start one.
Right.
But, like, instead in the last 25 years...
Well, President Dick Cheney was never going to let that happen.
We've decided to rack up more debt than this country's ever seen. Like, we balanced the budget. When Bill Clinton left, the budget was balanced.
Yeah.
Did he destroy the country by selling it out to corporations to balance the budget? Yes. But the budget was balanced, and we could have started a sovereign wealth fund in the 2000s and been in great shape instead of wasting $20 trillion in Afghanistan and Iraq, but that's where we are.
I mean, I still do blame the Bush administration as being probably the single most damaging administration this country has ever had.
Trump's working hard on competing.
If he gets us dragged into Iran, he's just replicated all of their mistakes on top of all his negative stuff.
Right.
But up until this Iran stuff started, it still pissed me off when people were like, oh, Trump's the worst president of all time. And it was like, the country wouldn't look like this if it wasn't for George W. Bush.
So I will point out...
He wouldn't have a blueprint to follow if it wasn't for George Bush.
So I will point out, I mean, when you have the government sending jackbooted thugs to murder people in the streets, I mean, like, it's kind of hard for people to not have that reaction.
Well, there's the damage that they've done to the, like, institutional. Like, Trump's done more damage to the institutional integrity of the U.S. Until we get bogged down in Iran, he has not done the practical damage to the U.S.
Well, I think that's true in terms of economic damage, that's true in terms of strategic damage, but in terms of, like, social and infrastructural damage, I mean, he's already fucked up.
What I maintain is that George Bush created the scenario that allowed Trump to exist.
Oh, totally.
So I think Trump is George Bush's fault.
He definitely did that. I don't know how you balance money versus, like, cultural and institutional damage. But $25 trillion is a fuck ton of money. And it has perverted the incentives in this country to an extent that I don't even. But, I mean, Bush took us from being like plus 100 million to being like negative 20 trillion by the time he left office.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's apples to oranges. All I know is the country was like permanently structurally damaged by stupid decisions the Bush administration.
Oh, sure.
That's my main thing, right? It's not that it's like you could, as an individual, like take it in isolation of their own moments, but with the greater context of Trump could never even exist the way he does if not for what George Bush did first.
Like,
it just literally couldn't have even happened.
Despite being
So I still
totally
blame him.
politically opposite. Like, I mean, Bush is the Chavez to Trump's Maduro, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like Chavez destroyed Venezuela, and then Maduro came in to rule over the wreckage and had to be like a bigger strongman than Chavez ever was.
I think that's a very good comparison.
The country wouldn't have been nuked in the first place.
Right.
Though it's a bit difficult because not only do you have the economic aspect, but you also have the slow-moving political unraveling of all the laws that are central to
Yeah,
American
I mean it's
funding.
why I do.
Yeah,
that goes back even before Bush.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true.
That is true.
That does not start with Bush.
It starts with
the assassination of JFK and the takeover of the intelligence agencies.
HW at the very least, and it probably goes back to LBJ.
Most likely.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. You want to talk about war profiteering? That really started with LBJ.
Yeah.
Because Eisenhower tried to tell everybody,
he did,
keep your eyes on this shit.
Yep.
And then JFK came in and was like, hey, Eisenhower wasn't fucking around. And then LBJ came in.
For influential non-politicians, Trump would also not be who he is. I think it can go as far as saying modern politics in general would not be what it is without Vince McMahon. You're not wrong about that.
That's a fair point.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that.
There's a reason he's made sure to have Vince McMahon's wife in both of his administrations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's 1,000% true.
And then one of the other things to have to contend with the whole billionaire situation is that these are people who are like actively planning like some sort of insane, like humanity-altering experiment.
Well, I mean, whatever Peter Thiel and Sam Altman are on right now is crazy dangerous. Did you see an OpenAI?
Yeah, we should really probably kill them.
Did you see an OpenAI executive said that we're basically building portals to summon alien intelligence, like malevolent alien intelligences into like.
I know that's what they want.
I mean, why won't Peter Thiel shut the fuck up about the Antichrist?
Because he's into that shit. He probably worships Moloch or what.
Because, I mean, like, Peter Thiel was in the Vatican the other day talking to cardinals and shit like that about the Antichrist. What's happening with Silicon Valley and, like, religion is super creepy. Like, the way that those two communities are syncing up in a way...
Oh, it's fucking bizarre, man.
Like, Silicon Valley went right-wing extremely quickly.
Yes.
Like, religious right-wing, too.
Granted, that's kind of what Silicon Valley felt like in the 70s and 80s. But it went really left-wing in the 90s and the 2000s. And now it's going super hard right again.
Can't let nerds have too much power.
Silicon Valley has adopted the 996 lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, think about what...
I'm not surprised that happened.
Think about what Silicon Valley was in 2010, though. Like, oh, we got, like, 1,000 espresso machines and, like,
wear
cool
sandals
ping pong tables that people can just, like, fuck off and build Legos in the middle of the day, and there's 15 sandwich bars, and, like, all of that is gone.
Yeah. Now it's, like, turned into fucking slave labor camps.
Yeah, I mean, it's even the big companies now have adopted, like, total startup culture. Which is mostly Elon Musk's fault. Because when Musk bought Twitter and brought, like, the Tesla SpaceX work model there, the rest of Silicon Valley was like, fuck it, pull out the soft serve machines.
Yep.
Make the cubicle small. Well, they don't even have cubicles anymore. They have the open office concept.
Yeah, which is way worse.
God awful. Who wants to sit next to somebody? No wall between you.
I'd hate
like
that.
Everybody's just going to see me jerk off at 12 p.m. every day? Like, come on.
But, like, how much does that suck to be sitting, having your shoulder, like, 6 inches from the next person's, no wall between you, trying to work? Like, zero privacy.
It's not good, man. Yeah, it almost looks like a Dark Souls boss.
でかい化け物が出た。
そっちまで行けないんだ。蔵に逃げ込め。俺は窓をこじ開ける。
Yeah, and don't forget how into eugenics that is.
Oh, they're super into it. They fucking love it.
Because they think they're the master race.
Which is crazy.
Oh, they all look so fucking weird and ugly.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg trying to pretend he's like a 20-year-old human.
Well, I mean, him trying to pretend he's not a robot is pretty misleading. That dude, I'm convinced that dude is not even a human being.
But the fact that he got himself a boomer perm and
Right.
chain and he's wearing graphics.
It's like he watched fucking Superbad and was like, I want to have Jonah Hill's Jufro.
よし。
Put that big thing down temporarily. But nope, it'll just get back up after a minute.
ひなこ、蔵の窓だ。急げ。
About this.
大丈夫か。
なんとかな。
よかった。
Oh man, like I said, there's a bunch of people that should just get killed.
Well,
お前を守れた。
for bringing up.
お姉ちゃんが。
ずいぶん前の話さ。
Well, that's the other thing. Is how many of these billionaires that we depend on are in the Epstein files and are just fucking kids.
A lot, most, or all.
And at that point, it's like, do you even care? Like,
I'd rather let society collapse to just make sure that they're fucking
I would
dead.
argue society has already collapsed if you have.
That's a good point.
Just pedophiles just roaming the streets, going after whoever they want.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would agree with that. I mean, like, what's left to preserve?
Yeah.
You know, it's like what matters to keep around.
Yeah, I mean, we already don't have laws that anybody respects. We already don't have the possibility of a decent life for anybody, so it's just like, fuck it, burn it down.
At a certain point, man, these rich people just need to die. And you could prosecute how many of them for things, how many things that are illegal, but they just you just can't.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have somebody who gets into power and is able to actually make the legal system do its fucking job.
Which seems impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so convoluted, and the the older I get, the more I just kind of am like, you know, out of all the superheroes, the Punisher really seems like he's got the right idea.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you know, Batman, his villains honestly aren't that bad. Like, yeah, the Joker's pretty
none of
nice.
them. He's not a pedophile. Though.
Exactly. I feel
At
like
least
if
the Joker's
Batman,
not a pedophile.
if Batman was like,
I've had 20.
was he?
That's a Superman villain. Though. Also, it really depends on the version. The original Toyman isn't, and then it's like a character where it's like he's kind of lame, and so they find like to try and make him scary or dark or a threat. Sometimes they'll do the cheap thing of making him a pedophile.
Mhm.
Whereas I think the best one is the one in the Superman cartoon, where he's like he's like a stalker of an adult woman.
We need the Batman arc where Batman and Joker team up, take down the Epstein circle.
I'd read that.
I mean, I think if Batman had somehow discovered Epstein Island back then, I don't think he'd still have a no-kill.
Yeah, he would probably. Well, Absolute Batman actually already sort of is eschewing that a
There you
little
go,
bit. That alternate universe.
I mean,
version.
Batman, depending on the version, that gets tossed quite often.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, going back to the Tim Burton, Michael
yeah.
Keaton movies,
Yeah.
he's just murdering a shitload of people.
But I mean, like, even like old school, pure good Batman would look at Epstein.
Like Adam West Batman
Yeah, would look
fucking-
at Epstein and go, okay, yeah, sometimes people gotta go.
Well, you know, in the Adam West gives no if he just drops Joker onto the island. That's true. That's true.
He just turns it into a makeshift Arkham Asylum.
He just lets Joker go there, and then Joker will kill all of them for him.
That's true. Has there ever actually been like a Batman Joker team up?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
There was one time, and it was during the Dark Knight's Metal comic, where it's like the different these multiverse evil Batman from like the dark multiverse come in, and the Batman who laughs is that like it's like the Batman that is the Joker that is basically Sauron.
Yeah.
That is the one time where Batman does sort of kind of team up with the Joker in a fight, and they're by themselves, and Batman does look at him and goes, "We are never speaking of this."
That's pretty good.
It's like, we never speak of this moment.
There's a team up, and then the whole White Knight storyline where they swap.
Oh, sure. But that's a standalone alternate Elseworlds story, though. The White Knight thing. That's like an Elseworlds book. Whereas
Is he like simp for women or something?
no, it's different. Joker's like he's like almost like he's like the like radio host, like journalist, like exposing like the vigilante crime. It's a weird take on it. But the one I'm talking about, the where they teamed up to fight like Sauron, that happened in like the main line continuity.
Sure.
Trying to remember how you do this. Think it's that only this one has a blade. I think that's the idea. That's why. Yep. Because if you pick the wrong one, they start.
Batman stops the no-kill rule, I think, so it stops being funny to Joker to be a criminal, so he ends up taking the anti-vigilante.
Oh, yeah. Kind of, if I remember. Well, kind of, but he's also, like, legitimately a different character. Like, he's not crazy the way he always is. And
is Batman crazy?
Not in the same, not like in like the way that Joker. It's like Joker's like doesn't have psychosis in that story.
So it's like a completely different dynamic, just with the same character.
Yeah. It's like it's very much a reinterpretation. It's not just that he takes like the opposite of Batman is doing stance. Like he's like missing like his like actual like mental illness and stuff like that. There we go. Let's see here. I think it's this one. How you doing over there, Alex? You look like you're pulling a Michael. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, you feeling okay? Feeling okay? We can always end early too. I mean, if we need to. That's also the comic where Batman like walks right up to Aquaman, shoves a finger in his face, and goes, "You and I both know what's under Atlantis." And Aquaman's like, "There's something under Atlantis."
That is like some shit.
It's also just Batman just fucking one-upping everybody all the goddamn time, like in every possible little detail. I think it's this one. I can't believe I'm getting all these right. The first time I played this, I pulled like the wrong one out like fucking 10 times, and I kept having to fight these things until I didn't even have a weapon left. So I can go back to look at.
Apparently they found out that fish are self-aware.
Fish are self-aware, huh?
Throw that on the pile of various other animals that have now proven to be self-aware.
Because we talked on the stream about how ants can like recognize themselves in mirrors, right?
So it just seems like just everything has some level of that.
Yeah. Oh shit! Nope, got it wrong.
At this point, we're going to have to start doing experiments to figure out what it is.
Oh, fuck you! God damn it! I didn't even hit the wrong thing for you.
Fish feel continuous intense pain when kept out of the water. Lakes are just covered with floating torture chambers. I mean, that makes sense. It doesn't feel good if you're a land animal who gets thrown in the water. So why would fish like it if it's the reverse?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, it's just like the whole dumb myth of like, oh, fish don't feel pain, so it's okay to jab them with hooks. It's like, it's so fucking animal, I wouldn't feel pain. It's a basic response.
Is there really a lot of people thinking fish don't feel
You
pain?
didn't know that? That was like a huge thing, like at least until very recently. I mean, that was like a normal mainstream belief.
That's kind of insane, but yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it was a surprise was so baffling to me. They aren't flapping around for fun.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who just have like these weird, antiquated ideas about animals that mostly just serve to justify whatever we do to those animals.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's outright kind of pathetic the way that people just like come up with some shit and they go like, "Well, this is definitely true," because I think it is.
Well, what's doubly pathetic is the way that some of that kind of ossified into like these weird academic perspectives of like, oh well, you can't assume that animals have feelings because humans do, because humans are better than other animals, which is basically the argument. And
Yeah, a lot of it's just humans are better because we're humans, so we assume we're better.
Yeah, that's true.
People just kind of think that. Like, are we more like capable of like introspective thought? Yeah.
yeah, are we more capable of reasoning? Sure, but that
Is
doesn't mean
that-
that animals lack the capability entirely.
And we're learning clearly that they have quite a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird thought in academic circles about animal behavior that I just don't understand. It's like when there was that study years ago where they had determined that cats don't like being petted.
What the fuck?
You didn't know about that?
I feel like we might have talked about it at the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah, because presumably there was just that experiment that found that chimps can track imaginary objects. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes sense. Capability that probably pre-exists us by quite a long ways.
どうして
God damn it.
またここに
Yeah, they had done these series of experiments where they had brought in like random cats and just like threw them at random people and like, okay, pet this cat.
The cats are probably not happy if you're throwing them. That might be what they were picking up on in that study.
Yeah, it's just this cat that's probably just kept in like a fucking blank room with a person who doesn't know who's suddenly grabbing at it. It's like, yeah, of course the cat's going to be uncomfortable. It has no idea what's going on or who you are. And they just concluded based on that cats must not like being petted or touched. And, therefore, you shouldn't have them as pets.
Which is just stupid. People really do fucking just think the dumbest shit sometimes.
And then, of
It
course,
kind of blows my mind.
I think later studies were then like, oh yeah, it turns out if the cat likes a person and trusts the person, then it does like being petted. It's like,
It's
no
like,
shit, you had to do a study?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it took you how much effort?
Wonder how much money they spend.
How much money?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, right. Because it's always taxpayer dollars fucking going to that goddamn shit. Asshole keeps disappearing on us.
リンコは
Well, killed that case of beer.
Hell yeah.
Just take the whole box outside later.
Cute.
くれたんだひなこも無事でよかった怪我はないか家族は私は大丈夫でも誰もいないの
Well, there was the whole thing where the entire fucking scientific community had assumed that because bird brains are structured differently from mammalian brains, that they must not be capable of emotion.
Why are scientists idiots? I'm sorry. Why are scientists the dumbest people that have ever lived? Like, Jesus Christ.
And again, it was only recently that they were like, oh yeah, crows can recognize themselves in mirrors. We thought they couldn't do that. It's like a fucking crow, the thing that makes tools.
Yeah, right. They make and use tools. How would they not be? Oh my god.
But yeah, it was just the defense was, wow, its brain is different, so we can't assume that it has any capability of, reason or emotion.
These are the kind of people that like watch a movie with ambiguity and feel like, well, we don't know anything because it didn't tell us what happened. That I will get into arguments with people like that where I'm like, no, this is what was being implied. This is what the story was trying to tell you, and they'll be like, well, they didn't say that. They're like, yeah, but if you're not a fucking moron.
Well, there's this thing in the scientific community where you're not supposed to make assumptions. But, like, the defense relies on making an assumption in the first place. Oh, you can't make an assumption that an animal
Which is an
intelligent.
assumption.
But, you can't think this without proof, but you're doing that right now. So
Right.
You have to study it, and you have to consider that your studies might be flawed and might not get you a result that's accurate. But until then, it's up in the air as to whether something's intelligent or not. So the Fellowship walking across mountains, and you see them arrive at Theoden's Hall, you can assume they probably didn't take a bus.
Right. Fucking exactly. But people will fucking get stubborn about that shit. They'll be like, well, no, that can't be true for sure because, we don't know. God damn. Fucking.
私も一緒に行こう手伝う相棒が一緒なら安心だ
I mean, a lot of it just comes to fucking weird cliques within the scientific community, and they have their ideas get ossified, and nobody can challenge them. And you need extremely specific results of a study to be able to even attempt to challenge it. I mean, we saw all this play out with fucking dinosaurs back in the day. With
That's
whether
true.
they're warm-blooded or not. The only what happened on camera is true crowd. Yeah. That is a strange fucking thing.
That cunt definitely just pushed us down the stairs.
We pushed her downstairs.
Yeah.
I wish.
Grab her ankle.
You're coming with.
I do love the architecture of all this.
It's pretty bitchin'.
Well, the contrast in this dark room is really cool too.
Even when you look out, it's like just lanterns on water. Kind of that, just an infinite a little bit of that.
Yeah,
as
that's
far
kind
as
of
you can
nice.
see. I mean, it's not immediately as disturbing looking as,
Right.
classic Silent Hill, but it's certainly got its own dark implications.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. It seems like a nice place to take a smoke break. Drink.
To take a smoke break.
And sometimes you can go cruising around and see like a lantern festival somewhere.
Sure.
It's always nice. Smoke break's over. Trying to think what else is fucking going on. I think I can remember.
I don't know. I mean, I've been keeping a pretty close eye on the Iran war, obviously.
Let's see, we're 2 hours and 10 minutes, and there's a safe spot coming up here in the corner. I think might be a good place to leave off for this week.
Sure.
Yeah, I think this might be a good place to stop for today.
All right. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Good shit.
And we'll get bummed out for next week.
What we do around here.
No, I mean,
it hasn't got me to Silent Hill 2 levels of sad yet.
Yeah, things are grim, but we're definitely not in the deepest pits of despair quite yet.
well, I'll tell you right now, there's no there's nothing outright to do with like straight up like rape
I mean,
in
that's
this
good.
game. The
That's
way there
good.
is in 2, like 2, that's why 2 is as dark as it is, right?
Yeah.
But you don't really have that in this at all. So
Right.
now her dad was beating the shit out
Oh
of
yeah,
her.
she has a shit life. Obviously, these other kids are also treating her like shit. So
There's definitely a lot of fucked up stuff going on, but it does not cross into that particular threshold.
that's something.
The way that 2
That's
does.
something.
So it probably won't ultimately bum you out ever as much as, like, say, Angela's story in 2 does, but I appreciate No Name Afternoon Tune hanging out.
We went heavy on the politics today.
Yeah, we kind of mostly just did that, honestly.
We got like a little mention of gnomes in, but that was about it.
Yeah, well, we got to play Gnome Burglar, especially because I have a new computer.
Yeah, you can get it.
You'll be able to, I'll actually be able to we can do a whole Gnome Burglar stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got that computer.
Exactly.
You got the computer for me?
Yeah, gnome burglars.
Yes, just so you'd have a chance to play Gnome Burglars. You wanted to so badly, but this is the only.
I hear that Gnome Burglars is driving up sales of PCs.
Yeah, it's really selling everything, man.
Is it?
Yeah, the people all over the world want to see those gnomes crawl up your ass.
uh,
They